Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. I'm AJ. I'm the president of WASDPlay.
I'm Taylor.
He's our head of systems and new technology. So this is the Staples Center. There's 27 million people that are tuning in to watch this. That's more than the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup combined. This is esports. It's taken over the world. So, okay, I got to this already. So yeah, more people watch the League of Legends Championship than watch anything else in the world. This market's huge. Right now, when you have 200 million people watching esports, naturally the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to want to bet on it. So last year, there were 3 companies that got over $30 million in funding between the 3 of them for esports betting, specifically esports betting websites. So this space is huge. There's money being poured in left and right. But there is one problem. There's 2 problems. First problem, websites themselves are pretty complicated. They're hard to use if you're a first-time user. And second problem is you're playing against guys like this. So you're playing against bettors who know betting, they know esports, they know all there is to know, and they have got this down and are just killing it on these betting websites. So you come in as a new user, and you put in your money, and you decide, okay, I want to bet on this game or whatever, and then everyone with experience just runs you over because they know the betting lines and who to bet on and how to bet. So we're going to solve this by attacking 2 market segments. We're going to attack the gamers who don't know anything about betting, and the people who bet on fantasy sports who don't know anything about gaming. So in this esports betting world, knowledge is power. So what we do at WASDPlay is we empower the user with knowledge so that they can bet and make money on those betting websites. So right now, we're going to solve the problem of intimidation with the complexity and the, bettors that are doing really well by empowering users with knowledge. So right now, they're having to switch through all these different websites to get all these nuggets, these golden nuggets of knowledge that they need to use to bet. So if you go to Reddit, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff about, say, League of Legends, which is a game. And you have to sift through tons and tons of articles to find, some information, the one piece of information that you need to bet. What we do is we take all this information, we take all the relevant information, we put it on our website. In addition to that, we provide our own, that we create ourselves, videos, podcasts, blogs, guides, tips, betting lines, and this creates an information set, where users can come in, educate themselves on esports, and be successful. We're going to partner up with at least 3 of the top betting websites so far. These are the 3 that between them got $30 million of funding. These will be our partners. So actually what will happen is you have a user, he's upset, he just lost $100 on a match. He comes to our website, he gets educated, he graduates from our website, he learns everything there is to know about esports betting, specifically about the game he wants to bet on. He goes and makes an account with our affiliated websites, and then turns around, bets more, and bets more often because he is educated and knows exactly what to do. So how do we make money off of that? Betting websites that we're partnering with will give us a percentage of every dollar that they earn from users that we send them. In addition to that, we have our own paid content, we have subscriptions, and we have advertising revenue. Will have. In the U.S., we have an 86 million person potential market. In the next 3 years, we're going to capture 10% of that market. And if one of 25 of those 10% converts to make an account on a affiliate website, that's $34 million in the next 3 years. So we get there by, we're almost done with the website. We'll have the website up and running. We have to generate our content and market the website itself. As far as intellectual property, we have our content, which is written for us by some of the top writers in the esports industry, which we were really lucky to get a hold of. We have a mock betting API, which is it's basically a practice betting tool that is going to be on our website that's going to help users place bets and learn how to bet online without actually risking any of their money. and a raffle system, which that's proprietary. Can't tell you anything about that yet. Here's our team. We don't have any cool pictures up, but that's us. We're a team of 5 from UTSA. We have 3 of the top engineering students, computer science engineering students at UTSA, and myself and one other guy. We're pretty up there in the business side of UTSA. We're partnered with Geekdom. It's a I guess you guys might know it, shared workspace downtown San Antonio. We've created this really good support network with I'm saying I'm sorry. A really good support network with many really intelligent people in the tech industry in San Antonio. Some of our affiliates, TCR, they're a podcast company, or not a company, they're a podcast group, and they do a lot of esports podcasting and things like that. And we've wrangled them up to do work for us. These are, yeah, I'm not sure what those are. Anyway, questions?
So I don't know anything about esports betting, and I guess how would someone like me believe and trust that you guys are the experts?
Well, what we do is all of our information that we create is created from people that are really prominent in the esports industry. So I guess there's not a real way for us to tell you, yeah, our stuff is completely legit and everything like that. Yeah, we're doing our best here. Sorry about that. Yes.
So you mentioned that much of your revenue is going to come from directing first-time users to the free platforms.
Correct.
Affiliate revenue. So I would imagine that most people, when they go and participate in this betting area, the first place they're going to go is the platform, the betting platforms. Not necessarily, they won't know they're bad at it until they try it.
Right.
And they're going to look for you, and then you can't get your revenue off these guys because they've already signed up. So what's your strategy to acquire these users before they engage with the betting platforms?
And that's where our marketing campaign comes in. That's not for another few months, but yeah, we're really going to try to just blast on all the esports websites, every esports related website. We're going to blast our name on there and tell them exactly what we do, and to stop here first before you stop anywhere else.
So you guys kind of, like you mentioned, you sort of aggregate all this other stuff out there. Mm-hmm. I would check out, I was just looking at something called RotoPass.
Yeah, RotoGrinder is actually another one, another company that
yeah, and what they do, their whole thing, like marketing, is like, we take all the resource out there and put it in one place for you, so you don't have to keep picking and poking around at all of them. So I think that's one thing. Also, just I think one of the questions for me is, do your users know that they need you? Because I think one thing with gambling is you lose when you gamble. You say, well, that sucks, I'll win next time. You know, it's always like there's always next time, and that's why it's addictive. So I wonder if somebody doesn't lose and just say next time, rather than, oh my God, I need some resources. Where do I go learn more about this?
Well, this platform is more based on, or if you're going to bet, you want to come here first. So for those who've tried betting and have failed at it, maybe they'll hear about us and want to come back again. But our market segments and everything, they're mostly for new users that haven't bet at all, that we want to tell them, come here first before you bet. Yeah. So,
how do you plan to get to know that community or that market?
Well, we know we're gamers ourselves. We all are pretty knowledgeable in the industry, so we know exactly where to place our advertisements and things like that to get the word out. Because that's really what's going to be the bottom line, is letting people know about us.
Is there any way to track how many or like how much people that have went through your program have won? I think that'd be like, if I was looking at your website and I saw like people that have went to play.
Yeah, that's all going to be part of our data analytics that we're going to do. Yeah, we'll collect all the user data that we can, and then actually package that up and sell that to other companies as well.
Do you have a specific game that you're going to start on? Because there's a lot of games that are played professionally, not including League of Legends.
Right. Our main game that we're going to start on is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Yeah. And so that's our main game that we're going to start with right now. And then as that gets further along, we'll introduce more games.
So are you just talking with people that report on esports, or are you taking into account like each individual player that's a part of the team and how they act, or like I don't know how.
Oh yeah,
how
so
big that is.
so our breakdown. So what we have is we've partnered with lots of prominent esports writers. So we actually have a few Reddit moderators that are doing content for us. We have a lot of guys that are doing spreadsheets and breakdowns and all kinds of crazy stuff. So what they do is, since esports is a constantly evolving sport, you don't have a team roster that stays the same throughout the year like in basketball or football. So every day, every week, there's going to have to be new content being created for teams and how one guy did in this one match compared to this one other specific person, and like if they're playing in another match together, then we need to have that information set up as well. So it's
So I engage some fantasy football stuff here and there. I know there's like some like gurus, right? And then there's like sites when they want to grow, they go sign like one of those like big writers. Like, is there any chance you maybe reach out to one of those Reddit moderators and have them sign personally with you guys? Like,
yeah,
like,
that's what we have done.
Oh, you
actually,
do?
yeah, we have. I think we have at least one Reddit moderator. He's a Street Fighter guy, and he does insane Street Fighter breakdowns and just yeah, it's really good. We got really lucky with that.
So let's talk legal and regulatory. So in regular fantasy sports, there was this Internet Illegal Gambling Act that carved out fantasy sports
Right.
to be legal. But even with that, it's facing significant headwinds from some certain states, New York, others, that have come out and just said it's illegal. And therefore, you know, it's a significant risk onto the platform, betting platforms, which then downstream affects people that support those platforms.
Right.
So where does esports come out with regard to the legal framework? Is it considered to be fantasy sports, or is it even legal?
It's actually going through its own kind of legal battle right now. But the cool thing about us is, so we started making a betting website. We realized that the betting websites that are out there are kind of bad, and then we decided, you know, we could do a lot better if we turned our competitors into partners and just provided users for them. So we actually escape any legal loopholes. We don't have to worry about
I'm not
legality
talking
at
about
all
you
as
guys.
far
I'm
as
talking about the platforms. I mean, the platforms could potentially face regulatory headwinds.
Yeah,
Would that
so-
affect the people who support the platforms? Is what I was getting at.
Right. So those guys say they do get regulated out. The cool thing about our website is that not only are people going to come here to learn about betting, our esports content itself is actually going to be it's really top notch as far as the content that we will provide on our website. So instead of all the 90% of useless junk out there that's on esports websites, we're just going to take the really pertinent information, and that's what we're going to have on our website. We'll still have all our paid content. We'll have advertising revenue. We'll have subscription revenue. So whether or not people come to our website, if they come to learn about betting,
2 minutes.
they can, and that's our main focus. But if that goes away, we still have all the resources and capabilities to provide a website that has just good content. And those websites in the marketplace right now that are doing just content are doing pretty well for themselves. So.
Yeah, gain that credibility. Maybe that's a great project for the summers. How do you gain that credibility?
Right,
Driving
and
that content?
being the first website that's doing basically a support platform for the betting websites, that's kind of where we're headed there.
Quick question. What incentives do these three, I guess, companies that are doing the betting sites have to work with you? Because they go through them first, lose, and then come to you. So you're not bringing them new customers, you're just...
Well, so they're losing. They're only keeping about a third of their customers. So what we do is we partner with them. We try to get. We'll see if this works out for us. But
1 minute.
in partnering with them, we hope to get their like a list, of people that have registered that are no longer participating, and we'll be able to hopefully reach out to them and say, hey, try us, then go back. If that doesn't work, then then you just suck. But yeah, so that's where we're going with there.
Yeah, I think that would be a big battle, generally dealing with those big companies. But
Yeah,
once you get in, you'll be good.
their customer acquisition costs are relatively low, but they're not getting very many. So hopefully what we plan to do is say, you're going to get a lot more customers, you're going to get more educated customers who are going to bet more money, and they're going to bet more money more often because they know more about esports and esports betting. So with that, we hope to, let us give us money. Just give us money.
I know we're running out of time, but this
summer is going to be a time when I think we really ask you to focus on the business model because it's you have third-party payers, whether it's the advertisers or whether you're just a lead gen company for Alpha Draft, right? And then figuring out what you're selling those third-party payers because the Alpha Draft, a lead isn't a lead to them, right? There are different leads that have tremendously different values to Alpha Draft, and figuring out how you can trace the characteristics of those leads on your platform to sell to them in a more specific way will be important for you, and this will be a good project for the summer.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.